Welcome to the Unhinged Vibes Podcast Talking in Cars edition. I'm back, everyone. I've had a very busy week with work, but I'm back in my car with a special someone. Say hello, my friend.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coastal, aka Coast Dynasty on Instagram, and because this is a Talking in Cars episode, aka the 1998 Ford Focus. What's up, man? I couldn't come up with anything quicker than that.
Ford Focus.
I apologize. I am getting to the bottom of the barrel of these coast puns, man. I am really struggling to find new ones.
That is funny. Ford Focus. You know, speaking of which, actually, I was actually looking into possibly getting a truck, a Ford truck.
Okay, the F-150s?
Yeah, the F-150. I don't want to buy a new one. I just want to buy a used truck that can get me to A and B, to and from work. That's good for winter highway roads.
Yeah, you know? Man, you're gonna need something more than that sedan that you've got, because I mean, I have a similarly sized car as you, and I have a Honda Civic, and making that trek out in northern Alberta is not fun in a family sedan, my guy.
I'm debating either getting a truck or I'm getting a Jeep Rubicon or Sahara. So I don't know which one I want. Either or, I just want all-wheel drive. I just want to make sure I can survive on the highways. You know?
Exactly. Get something that'll give us a little bit more peace of mind when you're on the road, my guy.
Exactly. So, for those who don't know me, I didn't say my name in the beginning, but I am Mr. Caramel Thunder. I'm one of the 3 hosts on this show. Now, today, since it's a Talking in Cars episode, it is a very promptu episode. We're going to be talking about mobile gaming. Now, for those who don't know what mobile gaming is, it kind of explains itself. It's games on your mobile device, on your phone. It can be a flip phone, all right? If you still have one of those flip phones, like that Snake game or Tetris or whatever, or if you have a smartphone, it can be anything on your smartphone. So that is today's topic. We're going to go in depth with mobile gaming, why we like it, what games we play, why do we keep playing mobile games, okay? And do we prefer mobile gaming over your traditional gaming style, like your Xboxes and PlayStations and PCs? Okay. Oh, sorry. And Nintendos. Gotta add in the Nintendos.
Of course.
So anyways, Coastal, how you doing, buddy? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I just realized that there's a bit of a piece of irony that our very first ever Talking in Cars podcast, we're going to be talking about something you absolutely shouldn't be doing in a car while you're driving, and that's mobile gaming.
That's so true.
So maybe don't marry these two together as closely as we have been right now. But other than that, I'm doing great. I got snowed under, so I had a lot of time with my mobile gaming device. In the last 48 hours, as a ton of snow has dumped down in our neck of the woods, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get out to the pre-release. I know we talked about that in last week's episode, that I was going to be able to go to my first pre-release. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It didn't work out that way. We got hit with that northern touch with a little bit of too much snow, and I ended up getting stuck at home. But other than that sort of put a damper on the weekend. I'm doing good, man. Can't complain otherwise. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of mobile gaming happened over the last weekend or so. What about yourself, man?
Honestly, it's been good. We just started to get snow out here. The roads are wet, but they're drivable, so nothing has frozen over. I'm starting nights, like I told you before the podcast, so we'll see how that goes. It is wet right now. It is wet, so I don't like that. I'd want it to be cold. I want a deep freeze. I don't like being wet and cold. Right?
Yeah, you know what?
I'd rather be dry and cold.
I think that's a prairie thing. We're okay with cold because, I mean, there isn't really too cold. There's just underdressed. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I remember sometimes my work pre-pandemic would get me out to Vancouver for a week, and when they would get their downpours, it would ruin my day. I'm not ready to be wet. I'm not ready to have wet clothes for an 8-hour shift, man. That's not something I'm built for sure.
100%, dude. Like, I went to one of the stores out here, and it was 25% off, and I needed winter boots. I needed winter gear. So I spent a big paycheck, and I saved so much. I saved $400, dude.
Yikes.
$400. Wow.
I mean,
it was 25% off everything in the store. So I was like, I got my winter boots. I got everything, right? So I'm covered for at least a deep freeze of minus 60
Oh, you're
whatever.
golden then. Yeah.
So I'll be okay. So we'll see how that goes. But since it is winter and it's starting to get a little bit more cuddle weather, a
Yeah.
lot of people are going to be going to stay indoors, watch Netflix, play some video games.
Yeah.
So, what do you play on your mobile game or
So
on your mobile phone?
so basically, what I look at in terms of what gets the most play for me in terms
Mhm.
of games, I tend to play different categories of games at any given time. So I'll usually have. Are you aware of what a gotcha game is? You should be.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I usually will typically have at least one gotcha game I'm playing. A lot of times I will have a card game that I tend to play as well.
Hmm.
And then sometimes I just a sort of low pressure, low stakes builder simulation style game.
Nice.
Right. So those are my three main categories. And right now, the games that I'm playing, my main gotcha game is Marvel Strike Force. So that's the one where you're collecting each of the Marvel characters from the Marvel universe, and then you go out, you fight, you join up with alliances. I mean, it's a very similar sort of structure as a ton of games that are out there. I'm sure you play a game that is very similar in structure to this,
Yes.
where you have an alliance and then you have your own thing where you're developing your roster and your teams, but you're also helping contribute to the overall health of the group. So my
Yep.
my gotcha game right now is Marvel Strike Force. What about yourself? Do you have something within that category?
So, for my gotcha game, it's kind of like a gotcha game slash RPG, like a role playing game.
Right.
So for that one, it's my Star Trek Fleet Command.
Yeah.
So the gotcha part is me getting the officers from either Klingon, Romulan, Starfleet, like so any like officers that you get, that'd be my gotcha part.
Okay.
Same with like acquiring the special ships, right? You acquire those ships through leveling, through earning, through progress. And just like with your Marvel Strike Force, like the more powerful your officers and your ships are,
Right.
and your crews, the more powerful you are to help your alliance. So we
Yep.
call our other guilds or whatever else alliances.
Yeah, ours
Right?
is in Marvel Strike Force. They're called alliances as well, but I mean
Yes.
they're ubiquitous in term, right? Alliance,
Mhm.
guild, what have you, whatever works best for the theme of the game.
Mhm. So, a quick question about Marvel Strike Force
Sure.
while we're here.
Yeah.
Why do you play that game?
So here's the thing. When it comes to the gotcha games, especially the ones with alliances, I play Marvel Strike Force specifically because my friends do. This is the it's a game that it does foster a sense of community.
Mhm.
And now that I am older, me and my friends are older, we don't have quite the amount of free time that we had in our early 20s for gaming. So we don't have the ability to sort of all get together and play, Halo 2 for 6 hours like we used to when we were younger. But this allows us to still have that sense of community, of communal gaming, but we all play at our own pace, at our own time. So was Marvel Strike Force sort of any more special than any of the other gotcha games? Not necessarily. I mean, I like Marvel, but I'm not like I've sort of alluded to in past episodes. I am more partial to the DC characters really than I am Marvel, but my buddies love Marvel, so I'm into. I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker. I used to play DC Legends, which is the gotcha version of DC, but
Yeah.
none of my friends played it. And the fact is, when none of your friends are playing this game, it doesn't quite ring as fun as it would if they were there. And you know that with
Oh
your
yeah.
game, right? Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah.
ask you that right away, but I know the answer. But yeah, so that's why I play Marvel Strike Force specifically. It has all the game mechanics that I want, that are similar in every other one, but it has the very added bonus of we have a 24 person alliance, and 8 of us are one group. Like 8 of us are actual in real life friends who used to play all video games together. So shouts to, it's funny because our alliance's name is Berlin's Best, and the majority of our alliance is from Canada. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so yeah, shouts out to Berlin's Best. And yeah, we that's why I enjoy it mainly. It's because I get a chance to game with my friends. What about yourself in terms of the gotcha game? Are you still talk to me a little bit about Star Trek and what draws you into that one?
So pretty much, other than me being a huge fan of Star Trek, right, and me being a fan of Star Trek was probably more recent, like 2 years ago, right?
Okay.
Usually, actually ever since COVID actually happened, because that's when I actually sat down and watched every single piece of content for Star Trek, and that was a
Okay.
lot of content I binged.
It's a lot.
Okay, it's a lot. But essentially, why I play this game is because when it comes to video games, there's two things that I love. One, role-playing games.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that you could progress as a character from beginning to end game, which what I love. It's that whole progression,
Right.
that role-playing part that I really like. And number two is the sci-fi part of it.
Okay.
Right. So for me, like being in space, being a captain of a fleet or my own ship, and telling it what to do, killing things, fighting things off. So the reason why I really like this game is just like you said, is the community.
Yeah.
So this game essentially kept me sane during COVID.
Yeah.
Because of the people I talked to.
Yeah.
Right? And the alliance that I was in, I moved out of it into one of the top 5 alliances so I can progress, and then I'll come back to this alliance. But the alliance that I was in, the Knights of Ni, what's up, Ni? They are mostly in Canada, actually. The majority of them are in Canada.
Yeah.
So I would talk to them when I was making moves to go to Alberta. Some of them were like, hey, I live in Calgary, I live in Edmonton. If you ever want to stop by and say hi and meet me, come by for a barbecue, whatever else. So like, it's very family oriented. That alliance, same with the one that I'm in right now. Kason, very nice. But it's great because you start off as a newbie, and then you could tell who are the badasses in this game.
Okay.
Right? There are people in this game that have spent millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Millions of dollars.
Yep.
Right. And you can tell because when they roll up in a ship that costs 300 grand to purchase.
Yep.
Or a year of grinding.
Yeah,
you know who they are,
and
right?
The thing is, it takes a year of grinding, but they've got it 2 weeks after release. You know they didn't grind for a year.
Exactly, right? And like another thing that scratches my back is the whole PvP kind of thing, right?
Yep.
So when there's big territory captures and you have 15 alliances on one side on one team and another 15 on the other, and they all swarm in, and you see like 500 to 600 ships going on in one. Man, you can't even click on the screen because it's so much shit going on. It excites me. It honestly excites me when you see like 600 people just fighting it out and you see a bunch of ships killing each other. I think it's great. So for me, it's the whole role playing, the sci-fi, me being like I'm in the Star Trek universe. That's why I love it. That's why I play it. It's very addicting, right? And it's very rewarding. That's what the key thing is. It makes you feel rewarded. It doesn't make you feel like you waste your time. And I hate games that make you waste your time. I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these games we understand they are. I mean, by definition, they're all time wasters, right? But we want to make they have to strike that delicate balance of dangling a carrot in front of you to keep you playing, but also rewarding you when you reach, like allowing you to reach that carrot, right? You might have to gate it so that people who don't pay take a little longer to get there, right? Than the people who do. But at the same time, you do have to keep that carrot available for people. I want to ask you about that. Are you in? I mean, so Marvel Strike Force is the game I play the most. So maybe this is the right time to have this conversation. Is Star Trek? Sorry, what was the full name of the game?
Star Trek Fleet Command.
Star Trek Fleet Command. Is that the game you play most right now?
Yes. So out of all the games that I've played, that is a game that I've played most. Out of the 3 years that it has come out, I have a total of, I think, 11 to 12 months of in-game time.
Oh, wow.
So for I play it a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just say out of the 3 years, a third of my day is playing the game.
A lot. That is, that is WoW level.
So exactly. And for a mobile game, that's very impressive.
But yeah, and that's and so I guess that leads me to my next question then is are you a free to play player, or do you invest money in this game?
Okay, so how we describe it in Star Trek, or at least in most of the games that I play, is there's free to play.
Yep.
There are dolphins.
Yep.
Okay, so dolphins are people who spend depending on what the
Nominal
game
amounts.
is, right? They spend a little bit amount of money
Yep.
every single month. Usually it's
Yep.
for like a battle pass, or it's one pack a month, right?
Yep.
So if you buy just the battle pass or a one pack a month or whatever else, you're
Yep.
essentially a dolphin.
Yep.
Okay. And then there are the whales.
Yep.
Now the whales are the people who buy a pack every single day. They don't care what money they throw at it. They want something.
Yep.
Instead of grinding, they pay for it, and
They're
they
just
get
going
it
to pay
right
for it,
then and there.
and then they're
exactly.
and then they're at the top of the rankings. So
yes,
it's funny that you bring that up, because I was actually going to start explaining that to you. Do you know that those terms? There's also minnow. So
yes,
there's minnow,
yep.
dolphin, and whale. Do you know where those terms come from?
No, where did they come from?
They actually, at least to my knowledge, I've known of these terms prior to this, because as I've talked about before, I work in the gambling industry. They're actually gambling terms.
Oh, really?
Yep. And so what it is you want to keep that healthy ecosystem. You don't want an aquarium full of nothing but sharks, nothing but whales, because there's nothing to eat, right?
Yes.
They're going to starve off. You're going to starve them off. But you don't want nothing but minnows, because then you're not generating any money. There's no monetization there. So it's something. Have you heard of the Pareto principle? Or the Pareto principle? So what it is in generality is 80% of consequences come from 20% of the cause. Within gambling and within any sort of service industry or any sort of sales, how we look at it and how we parlance it is that 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your player base. So
yeah, that makes sense.
So when you are actually, if you're a dolphin, you're helping contribute to that 20%, right?
Yeah.
And what you have to understand though is that the overwhelming majority of your player base is actually going to be free to play. And I mean for Marvel Strike Force, I'm more of a minnow.
Yeah.
Right. I'll buy things that are deals, but in generality, I tend to not spend a lot of money on this. But yeah, so that's what keeps that healthy ecosystem. And it's funny because there is a term that we never used in the gambling world that I've seen used multiple times in gotcha games, and there's the whales, and then there's the Kraken, and that's two or three guys, like you said. There's the guys who spend the tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on a free-to-play mobile game.
Yeah,
but they are always the guys who are at the top of the charts. They're the guys who they'll finish they finish raids faster than anybody else. They get the warships before anybody else. So that's your Kraken. They're the guys who are spending gobs of money on this game.
And it's because of those guys that you still have a game.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So you gotta respect everyone in the game. It doesn't matter if they're free to play, dolphins, minnows, whales. There's like in my game, a lot of people don't like whales because they get all the best content. Like, of course, they're paying for it.
But you have to understand,
they're paying for your game.
Yeah, you understand. And that's the thing, right? Is if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. And that's the thing, right? Is I'm not paying, which means somebody else is. So I get to play for free. That means they are paying to be ranked above me. And I have to be okay with that.
Yep.
Right? Because there's an avenue for me to not be the guy who's below in the rankings, and that's for me to pay. So you have to be okay with that, right? You can either play for free and be lower in the rankings, or invest an actual cost to this game and be a little bit higher up. So I'm okay being sort of a middling player and enjoying it and sort of going along for the ride, not unlocking the biggest team early, sort of not getting them until there's another team that's better than them. I'm okay with sort of sitting there. Yeah, because I mean, what's the big team right now in our the Infinity Watch. Infinity Watch is huge right now. They're just mowing everybody down, and I have a lower end version of that team. So and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for now. So
that's something that people got to realize with mobile gaming. It's not your traditional kind of game anymore.
No,
you don't buy the game and then you're good.
Yeah.
A lot of the gaming industry right now is basing their sales off of mobile games. They know that if they get a game out there that's for free, they're more likely to get more money out of you, consumer, if they have let's say a monthly cost of a battle pass or packages or bundles that you can buy as additional content. They know that they can make more money off that way. And that's
the world of microtransactions. It's the world of microtransactions. And that's the thing, is that, you know what, I keep I keep seeing, it's funny because I live in the world of slot machines, and I see a lot of the philosophies that are used in the casino industry being utilized in the video game world, and it's specifically within the mobile gaming enterprise. Like when you look at something like even big AAA video games that are on consoles, like FIFA is EA's largest revenue generating game now, and it's not because of the sales that they get, it's because of the microtransactions from HUT, right?
Yeah.
From Ultimate Team, and that's
absolutely crazy the income they get.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that that's one of the problems with mobile gaming, is that it taught everybody, it taught the bean counters that the biggest thing to generate revenue is microtransactions, and then that's where the focus has come in. We've seen it even fall into AAA games, which is unfortunate.
It's also crazy that mobile gaming is actually, it makes more money than your traditional gaming.
Well, it's funny, right? It's funny, yeah. Like you look and you think about, oh, what's the largest video game company in the world right now? It's not Electronic Arts. It's not. I mean, it's not Blizzard Activision, right? It's not. It's Tencent.
Yep.
Right, which is crazy.
And honestly, every 1 out of 3 games, you see Tencent in the starting credits.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely crazy.
You hear rumors that Tencent might buy EA, and that's crazy to me because I had always thought Electronic Arts, I mean, it's in the game, right? Like they've been a powerhouse industry for. They're the ones that buy out small companies and then shut them down, not the other way around. They're not the ones.
But this time, EA is the small company. Yeah, Tencent is the big boy,
which is crazy to me. Yeah. So it's crazy that there are giant video game companies that are not available on Nintendo or Xbox or PlayStation or PC, right? Supercell's another one. Yeah. So
Supercell is a very good one, just because as of recent they've grown very popular. You know.
Oh man, yeah, the Clash series has been
very popular.
Yeah, I used to play that. Go ahead.
Me too. Oh,
you know what? Do you want to do a quick conversation about Supercell?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so which Supercell games have you played?
So I played Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. Yeah.
I believe it's called Clash Royale.
Clash Royale, yeah.
There's one where you control the characters and it's a shooting one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm forgetting too, because I played that one.
I've played that one. I've played that one too. I just saw a trailer actually for two new Supercell games. One is a farming game, I believe.
Yep. Everdale?
And another. Yes.
I've started playing Everdale.
And another one is it good?
You know what? Let me talk about that right away after.
Okay.
After your discussion.
And there's another one where it's like miniature fighting. Like you have a bunch of minis in an arena and they fight each other. Oh, I just saw the trailer. Oh, so it's brand new. It's literally, it just came out like maybe yesterday. I saw the trailer. So.
Okay, is that going to be sort of like what are those games called? Because I used to play them too, like a battle chess style game.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember I played a little bit of that where it's almost it's a break off from the MOBAs because you just take those characters and then it's called auto chess, I believe is the name of the genre. So Everdale, I've started playing it. It's a very low stakes, very fun game. You just sort of you farm and it's that style of game, right? Like we played those type of games. It's very much like a farm town or a Farmville style game. It's similar to stuff like I don't know if you've ever played Tiny Village or anything.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay. So it's similar in nature to that, but with a Supercell twist. Okay. And I do like it because it's actually in portrait mode. It's my only portrait mode game. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's interesting that way. So if you do ever want to get into that game, let me know because we do have a village already going.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll make a spot for you.
I think I might get into that.
Get into it now. I believe it's still in beta. My worry about it is there is no PvP aspect right now.
Okay.
Right, which I like because I don't want a PvP. I don't really want a PvP. My only issue and my sort of worry about it is I don't know how they monetize this game. And what we've seen with Supercell is if they have no way to properly monetize a game, they kill it.
Yeah.
So that's my worry with Everdale.
Okay.
But right now, I mean, get in while it's fun. Yeah, get in while it's fun because it is. It's one of those. It's very low stress. It's one of those. I pop in for 30 seconds at a time. Tell my villagers where they need to go, and then they're off, and I don't touch it again for a little bit. So it's a very low stress game. Yeah,
That's pretty
like I
good.
said,
It's always good to have those games. It's
yeah,
always
and
good to
that's
have
what
those
it is.
games.
It's a break. It's a bit of a release from the other stuff that's a little bit more sort of intensive. But it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, I got 45 seconds. I'm just standing in line somewhere, right? Yeah, let
Yeah,
me pop that in real quick and get in and get out. But yeah, so yeah, give Everdale a shot. And
that's
if you
pretty
do,
dope.
if you do, let us know. Because yeah, we have a spot in the village for you.
Yeah, no, I honestly that'd be great. Do you play any kind of like now you said you don't like PvP
Yeah,
in some games. So I don't know if you like this, but do you play MOBA style games on your phone?
I've tried to play mobile games. I've tried oh, what are some of the mobile games? Do you know offhand what are some of
There's
the top mobile
Mobile
games?
Legends, there's
Okay.
Mobile Legends, there's League of Legends,
Yep.
there's the Pokemon Unite, there's
I never tried Pokemon Unite yet. That was the one I wanted to try.
Pokemon Unite is actually a lot of fun. Oh, so
Yeah.
much. If you love Pokemon, you're gonna love Pokemon Unite. Um, I've played Mobile Legends a lot,
Okay.
like a lot. That's a 10-cent game.
Yeah.
That is fun,
Yeah.
dude. That me and my girl, we
Yeah.
played that together all the time, all the
Oh,
time.
okay. You know what I
Yeah,
tried playing was Arena of Valor. That's the one I tried playing.
I've played that one too. That one's fun.
Yeah.
I like that one.
So and I tried Brawl. Oh, you know what was the shooter game we were talking about from Supercell is Brawlhalla.
There it is,
Yeah.
Brawlhalla. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So but yeah,
surprised I didn't think of that name.
yeah. But yeah, I mean I've tried Wild Rift. You know what it is
Okay, yeah.
maybe I'm just not a MOBA guy because I've tried playing them all and they're
Mhm.
fun, but
Mhm.
I you know what it is I can't I can't break through that next wall from beginner to novice. I just don't find myself
Oh,
getting
okay.
better, right? And as my ranking goes up and I start playing against harder players, I don't get any better. So
Mm.
it becomes a little bit sort of discouraging eventually.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like about MOBAs is the whole like the ranking system kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
Where like you're gonna beat so many people in the beginning, but at a certain point you will hit that brick wall.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
I think
when you
that's what
hit that
happens to
brick
me.
wall, it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks because then you just lose to the point where you drop in rankings, and then you start winning because you're super low.
Yeah,
You
and
go
maybe
back
that's
up to
all.
the
I
wall.
just need to push through, I think. I just need to push
Yeah.
through that wall. The style of game we're talking about with the auto chess, I think it's called Teamfight Tactics is the big one.
Yes, that's what it's called. Because I think League of Legends
Has a
has a
version of
team
that.
fight tactics. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's I mean those are games that I tend to not play a whole lot of like really sort of fast twitch intensive games on mobile. I tend
Mhm.
to save that still for console. Do you play a lot of stuff that you can play really that would require sort of the fast twitch
Yeah,
instinctual stuff?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Star Trek Fleet Command is kind of a fast switch kind of thing because
Okay.
depending the PvP aspect of it is fast
Right.
switch. But other than that, yeah, it'd be the for sure the MOBAs, for
Okay.
sure the MOBAs, because I play those like crazy on my mobile. So it's it's nice when you can hook up a controller to it, right? So
Yeah,
when you
for
can
sure.
hook up a controller to your mobile device and play through there, I think it's better. But it's I don't know. It's not the same as playing on a console or on a PC.
Yeah, for
It's
me,
different.
once you need a controller, I just that's when I move to console.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm just thinking about some of the other games that I've played, like the simulation games and the community style aspect games, right? Um,
Those are fun.
they are fun, and it's so valuable to foster a community, because then if you don't have that, it can really kill a game. Because
Oh, 100%.
I do remember I did play a couple of games. One of them being Forge of Empires. Did you ever play that one?
No, it sounds familiar though.
Yeah, well,
It
Forge of
sounds familiar.
Empires is one of those. It's just a simulation game, right?
Mhm.
Another one of those simulation sort of same thing. You have your own sort of base or empire that you build yourself, and then you help. Yeah, the resources you gain from that help
Oh yeah.
not just level you, but then it helps contribute to the group as a whole. And there was again, me and my seven friends were all in a group, and we joined what looks like the wrong alliance because there were just a lot of people who took that game way too seriously and just
Yeah.
were ripping. And the thing was, I guess they didn't realize that all seven of us were friends. and when they're ripping one of us, you're sort of ripping all seven, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So they're
100%.
you had guys shitting all over some people, and then you've got people. Oh, he's not contributing fast enough. So then they kick out one guy. That's like, well, no, I mean, sure, he's the 23rd strongest guy in our alliance, but he's also my best friend. So I'm like, if you want me, you got to keep him. And then so it ended up that all seven of us just left, and then because of that, we never got back to the game. And then now it's a dead game to us, which kind of sucks because it was fun to have that.
There's a lot of games like that. The recent one that just came out is a Lord of the Rings one.
Oh, really?
Actually. Yeah, there's a Lord of the Rings one that just came out, I believe, a couple weeks ago, actually.
Okay.
It's just like that, where you choose what race you want, and you build up from there, and then you battle for the one ring or whatever else.
Urukai.
I know. I'm tempted, man, because I'm a dwarf or elf guy. So it's like, do I really want to get into this game? Because I got a lot of games going on right now, and I don't think I can handle another one on my freaking list,
You're a dwarf and an elf guy, and you run Krenko, you traitor.
Hey, here's the thing. If dwarves have a good deck in MTG, I would play it.
You know what? I'll let you play my Magda.
Play it.
I'm building Magda right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Magda's a dwarf, a dwarf legendary. So
because I think dwarves are, in my eyes, from Lord of the Rings thing, it should be manning vehicles.
Yeah.
Having heavy hitting units.
Yeah.
Right, with like trample or indestructible, something like that. Right.
Yeah.
None of them should be able to fly. Let's be honest here.
Okay.
None of them should be able to fly. Right. But yeah, heavy hitting, trample, intimidation, menace, vehicles, a lot of vehicles.
You are gonna love my Magda. My Magda deck is actually Magda vehicles. So
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will have to try it. Because I have a snowball elf. I have a mass swarm goblins.
Yep.
So essentially, like, they're on theme.
They are.
But the dwarf, I love ever since The Hobbit came out and you saw the dwarves in action. I'm like, oh man, dwarves. I'm not gonna lie, they're more kick ass than the elves. The elves are very good. They're awesome, but the dwarves, there's just something about them where, like, if you see an army of dwarves, you know you're gonna get fucked up.
Oh man,
you know you're gonna lose.
I'm an elf guy, but I think I'm an elf guy in the same way that I'm a vampire guy that I talked about last week. Where I always sort of gravitate towards races that are unnecessarily fancy.
Yeah, so elves are very fancy. They're very like.
Yeah, so
it's very show for them,
Very, very showy, very snobby. They look down on, they're the high elves, right?
Yeah, I love high elves. I love high elves.
That's who I tend to gravitate towards, and I'm not sure why, because I was always a poor kid growing up. So maybe that was aspirational for me. That's what I thought in the fantasy world. That's what rich people look like. So that's sort of what I gravitated towards. Man. But yeah, going back to, I digress. So in terms of mobile games, I wanted to ask you, card games. I mean, me and you we link up because of our love of Magic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play any card games, or have you played any card games on mobile?
Now, I played the MTG Arena.
Okay,
I tried it out. I like the look of the game.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into it only because I don't play standard.
Yeah. That was sort of my issue too.
If MTG Arena had a commander aspect to it where you can literally just make your own commander decks, and if the whole gang can't get together, but we can all get into a match on MTG Arena and play commander that way.
Yeah.
I think we would be playing games more often.
I think so.
100%. Right? If MTG Arena or a third party made a Magic the Gathering commander and gave us access to all the cards.
Yeah.
Right? And the microtransactions would be purchasing for different landscapes, different versions of the art, limited edition, like backings or sleeves. Or something, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great because I want to play more commander.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't because my work and schedule and whatever else.
Yeah.
But if there was a mobile version of Commander that we could link up with the crew of 6 and play, I'm all in. I'm invested.
I think so because there's, as much as Spell Table has been great, you need to have a PC, you need to have your webcam, you need to have the space for it, and then you need to have your decks. So for the guys who are mobile or have to take off from the city for work, that is a lot to ask for them to bring with them while they're away from home. So and like you said, if it was available on our phones, it would be a lot easier, right?
Super easy, right?
Yeah, we don't even need to be home.
You just connect either a headset to your phone or whatever else, and you could talk to people while playing the game. I think, man, it'd be so much better if that was like a reality, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, I don't.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Maybe a third party might make one. I think that'd be great.
I think so too.
But other than that, I don't really play any other card games. I played the Clash Royale, which is technically a card game.
Okay, yeah, that is.
But other than that, nothing really.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could play more card games.
Yeah.
Right, but unfortunately, there's none right now that pique my interest.
Okay.
Maybe there are a few in the future, but right now there's none.
Okay.
Right now there's none. What about you?
So card games, I always tend to have at least one card game going. Card games are a genre that are very much have regular play in my sort of library of games. I tend to not play more than one at a time, so I'll have to stop one when I decide to play another. Right now, I am into Arena.
Nice.
Yeah, I am starting to play Arena simply because while I don't play Standard, I'm looking at this like this might be the right time to bounce back into Standard, just because there's Crimson Vow, there's Neon Dynasty coming up, and those two are going to be in rotation for at least the next year and a half. So getting in on the ground floor with the Crimson Vow cards and then starting with Neon Dynasty, it might be something where I can get into it, because I looked at it, there was a time when prior to the mobile launch of it, I did play MTG Arena on desktop a lot. And even now,
me too.
Even now that I've gotten back into it, I will play sort of ranked games. They are better on desktop. I'll play a quick MTG Arena game if I'm trying to get the quest done. Because the one thing about MTG Arena is I am strictly, and I do this, I'm sort of, as a rule, I will not spend any money on MTG Arena specifically. I do not believe in paying for a digital version of something I'm already pouring tons of money into for the physical versions of. Yeah. So until Wizards of the Coast starts posting codes in all of the packs, that is the only money they're getting from me. Is they're not getting any money from me for MTG Arena specifically.
I agree with you, man. I think, that's why I didn't like it. That's why I don't want to play, just because like I already have all these cards. Like I wish I could just play them in this game.
Yeah,
but no, you have to repurchase them.
Yeah, that's why I thought Pokemon, the online version of Pokemon, was so great, is that every pack had a code. Right? Like, I mean, the reason I know this is because my kid played Pokemon, right? So I used to buy him that stuff. Every card, every tin, every collector's box, every pack came with codes. Every starter deck came with a code, and you would get the exact same thing online that you paid for on paper. And the thing is, the thing that frustrates me most is not only would you would get more paper sales from me.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? If you had the Arena version, not only that, is I'm not just a Commander player now. I will play Standard. I will play Modern, if I have an online outlet for that. But yeah, so right now MTG Arena, I did dip my toes into Hearthstone.
That was fun. I played that for a while.
I played
when
it for
it first came out.
I played it on beta mainly, and then when it got to a point where the grind became too much. Like, remember we talked about dangling that carrot? Yeah. That grind became too hard, and you're just getting smoked unless you spent money. It sort of fell off for me there. One game I did play, I'm not sure if you've ever played this game, is there was a card game called Eternal.
Nope.
No? Okay, so that was the one game, because remember with Hearthstone, it was built from the ground up as a mobile game, which is one of the reasons why you don't have instants, right?
Yeah.
Right, so it's always sort of turn-based, and it's you can't sort of interact on the other person's turn. Eternals was a card game, a digital card game that was actually designed by two Magic Hall of Famers, LSV.
Okay.
And oh man, I'm forgetting his name. He was also on Enter the Battlefield. the Enter the Battlefield documentary. In other words, yeah, in either event, yes. So the card game was designed for mobile and for online, for digital first. So they did find a really sort of interesting way to recreate a lot of the Magic um, things with that. Like one of the things that they did was if you wanted to do a draft, what they did was they would take your pick when you opened a pack, and then they would warehouse it so that the next person who would draft, anyone else who took a draft, they would pull that pack. And then that's how you would be able to draft without having everybody there live. Is that they would,
okay.
yeah. So that's how they did that. And it was a really fun game, but again, it wasn't Magic, right? So that's why I fell off that game. And then the other card games I played were, I don't know if you played any of the Super Card series.
No, I did not.
No,
I did not.
Okay. Are you aware of them?
Yeah, I'm aware of them.
Yeah. So yeah,
it never piqued my interest to actually play them though.
Yeah, you know what? I tried. I mainly played NHL Supercard and WWE Supercard, and then the power creep just got too fast.
Yeah.
And that's why I sort of fell off those two. But yeah, those were the card games I play. So I mean, I play, like I said, I tend to have 3 games at a time. What about yourself?
Let's see. I tend to have at least two at all times.
Okay.
One of them is always going to be Star Trek, right? That's always going to be my number one game. And the second game always fluctuates on essentially the time of the year.
Okay.
Right. If I know that I'm going to be home a lot and I have a lot of time, I'm going to be playing a mobile just because it's longer game times. It's either 15 to 30-minute matches or whatever else. I can sit down. I don't have to worry about things, right? Where if it's a certain time of year where I don't have a lot of time to sit down, whatever else, I play a lot of strategy, like build them up games. Like I forget what you said, but it's you have a town, you build it up, it gets invaded or you attack other people, whatever else. Just like Clash of Clans, Forge of Empires.
Okay.
The Middle Earth Lord of the Rings game that just came out, right?
Yeah.
So depending on what it is, it's usually that. But yeah, it's always my Star Trek game just because that one I could spend 1 hour a day, 30 minutes a day, or 8 hours a day.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter what time frame what amount of time I play in that game. It's always rewarding, no matter what. Always something to get done. Right. So it's for me, there's always a 2 in my rotation. The second one is always ever rotating with the new game, something new, whatever else.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice that way.
Yeah.
Now, if someone's new to mobile gaming, what do you recommend them to look into?
So I guess the first thing I would do is recommend that you don't look at the top selling and top grossing. Because those are bought and paid for. That's not going to give you any sort of general idea other than what's most popular, right? So I guess the first thing I would ask them is, what are you looking to get out of this, right? Are you looking to, because the one thing that neither of us have really mentioned is none of us really play, or neither of us have mentioned a AAA game, right? None of us have mentioned sort of the high end more expensive games, which I mean are becoming more and more rare, right? But yeah, anything that is a sort of pay $19 and get the whole game, those aren't very available anymore.
Yeah, when was last time only because like people don't like the upfront price to it.
Yeah,
people want to try the game.
Yeah.
Then if they like it, then they can at least decide the amount of money they want to put into it.
Yeah, and again, that sort of leads back to the whole conversation with monetization, right?
Yeah.
So
because I think the latest AAA game would be the new Diablo game, the Diablo mobile game. But I believe that is free to play.
That is also free to play. Yep.
Right. So like they're not even charging for that. They're just charging for microtransactions at that point.
Yeah. So and that's the thing, right? So I guess have you tried Diablo yet? I got to get into that.
Not yet. I want to. I'm a big Diablo guy.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to try this out.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Let me know when you get into it, because then I'll probably get into it at the same time.
Yeah, I have it downloaded. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't opened it. So I've probably got 5 or 6 gigabytes worth of games that I never play on my phone right now that I've just completely forgotten about. But yeah, I guess in terms of if somebody wants to know, I would ask them first what they're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
And if it's a buddy of mine, it's just, hey, you know what? Play the games we're playing. And see,
Exactly.
so that's the first thing I would say is, you know what? Play the games we're playing, because if nothing else, it does foster a sense of community. And then you get that, like you had said during COVID, that was the one thing, is that we all got to get together and talk about Marvel Strike Force, even when we weren't together, right? We get to chat on our chat groups and, hey, this needs to get done, or hey, how's your, how's your progression going? Like, do you have your entire Guardians team loaded up? What are you missing? You know, when we get into wars, it's like, oh, hey, there's defenders who you can take down. It's available in a room that's available that you can kill. So, jump on that. So I think that's the first thing I would say is one, what are you looking to get out of it? And then two, play the games we're playing and see how it goes. And then, and the thing too, and the good thing, the beauty about mobile gaming is the only overlay cost wise is time. There is no, for most games, there's no monetary sort of investment initially. So
that's very
what
true.
I would say is, hey, does the game look good? Try it. Right? Yeah. It's going to cost you, it'll cost you nothing to download a game and not like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, one thing that would add to your list is number 3 is if there's a franchise that you really love, type in that franchise in your app store. There's probably a bunch of games that you can try out, and you'll find one that you like.
Absolutely.
Right?
If you're a Marvel guy, there's like 7 different games and they're all good. I only played just the one, and I might be playing the least popular one, but I mean, there's Future Revolution. There's a ton of Marvel
that one's actually going to get canceled soon, apparently.
Oh, really?
A lot of people are leaving Future Revolution, so they merged a bunch of their servers together. Apparently, it's not looking good at all for that game.
Good. That is not good. That sucks, because I mean, I did hear some people were enjoying it. I mean, but that was a long time ago that I'd heard that, so things might have changed. That's the one thing.
I played that game religiously. I really did, but it just there's no one playing that game anymore.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. Because I've had a couple of games like that too, where I enjoyed it and then it just got canceled because they just didn't. They weren't generating the monetization from it. They weren't getting the microtransactions. Like I said, that's what I worry about Everdale, is I don't know how they're making money off this. And if they're not making money, this game's getting canceled. Yeah. So
I got one question for you.
Shoot.
One question for you.
Okay.
Now, when you purchase a smartphone, do you purchase it because of gaming?
Well, let me tell you this. I don't necessarily purchase it because of gaming, but it is definitely involved. One of the things that I will say is that because I'm in the Android ecosphere, I don't even look at Apple, because
100%. Me too.
Because that's and it's not I'm not trying to do the Apple versus Android thing. If I was an Apple guy, I would never look at Samsung anymore. I would never look at Android, because I've got years invested into my my progression on the games that I've got now that are downloaded through Android. If I was to move to a different ecosystem and I can't take that with me and I got to start on the ground floor, that's a wrap. Like, if I have to leave, so when I pick a phone, that is going to be part of it, right? Is that my progression in the games sort of locks me into one OS versus another one. So in that aspect, it does impact my gaming, does impact my phone choice that way. The other thing is, I mean, I'm a tech nerd like you. So latest and greatest, biggest screen, fastest processor. Those things all help with gaming, but they're all things that I was going to look for anyway, right? Why it's not an upgrade of your phone if you're getting a worse phone. So
exactly.
So that's how I feel about all of that. Does gaming impact your phone choice in any way outside of that?
For any outside of that, no, you kind of hit everything like right on the head. Just because like all my games, all the saved files are through Samsung or Android affiliate stuff, right? So like you said, if I switch over to an Apple, I'm SOL. Like I lost all my progression. I would still have to use my old Android phone anyways to play those games while I have a new iPhone. No, why would I do that?
That defeats the purpose. That defeats the purpose 100%. Of mobile gaming. So
100%. One feature that also makes sure that is good is the sound quality as well.
Okay.
Of the phone. right? I have to make sure that the speakers of the phone is not shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound distorted in any other way.
Right.
Because there's some games where I like having the background music on. I like hearing the characters say stuff, whatever else. Like in my Star Trek game, I have no sound.
Okay.
No sound whatsoever.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I have no sound whatsoever. But for other games like MOBAs, I need the sound. You need to hear what's around you. You need to hear if someone's in a brush, if someone's coming up behind you, if you're being attacked, the alerts, whatever, right? So
you need that read and react ability. Okay.
Exactly. So other than that, you hit everything on the head, man.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, for sound wise, I believe if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think of all the games I play. I have the sound off on every one of my games.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the large parts of when I play is during if I'm sitting on a couch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe what I'm watching is a little bit slower. Like for example, if I'm watching a Jets game or a Bomber game or something, if they're at halftime or if they're in commercial break or if they're at an intermission, I sort of jump on my phone and start doing that stuff. But I still want to hear the audio cues from around the outside of this game, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, and another thing I do a lot of times is I'll be mobile gaming while I've got, a podcast or a YouTube video going on, and
I do that all the time, dude.
Yeah, so while I'm playing Marvel Strike Force, I want to still be able to hear Caramel Thunder and Noslin 69ers in my ear, man. I don't need any background music cluttering that up, man. Hearing about Nelson's newest way to cheat, right? So.
And he always finds a way to cheat.
He does. My guy is catching strays right now.
That is so funny. Anything else you want to talk about mobile gaming?
Maybe one quick thing. Yeah, sure. One quick question for you. How do you play any higher end games? Like, I guess you play MOBAs, right? So that does sort of tax your phone. Because I was gonna say there was one game I used to play, Injustice, the mobile version.
I love Injustice. I never played it on mobile though. I only played it on console because I needed the controller.
I was the other way.
The controller.
I played the Injustice mobile version was a very simplified version of the controller of the console game. It wasn't a straight port. So it was just sort of like, if you tap to the right or if you swipe, it does the moves type of thing. So I really enjoyed it. But the reason I had to stop playing it is as the updates happened, and as they brought in more characters and as the graphical improvements started to happen, my phone started to get really hot.
Oh yeah, the overheating.
The overheating of my phone started to become an issue. And that's sort of what scared me away from playing anything that's a higher end game now. Is that sort of, can my phone make it through without me having to upgrade? And that's the thing, right? It's if you're playing this game for 3 or 4 years, eventually the updates are going to catch up to you, right? So that's always my worry. I guess the one thing we want to ask each other is in terms of mobile, has this replaced your console gaming or is it a supplement to it? Like, what is your sort of, do you do this instead of, or do you do this as a supplement to your usual gaming?
Now for me personally, within the last, let's say, year, I think mobile gaming has surpassed my PC and console gaming. I essentially use my console and PC to watch YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus. Let's just be honest here.
Isn't it sad?
Yeah, I use my console and PC to watch videos, movies, and TV, right? And I have my mobile gaming. My phone, to play mobile games, which it technically should be the other way around.
It absolutely should be.
It's honestly, my phone is now my main source of gaming, and my PC and consoles are my main source of media, which is absolutely crazy to think of.
That's backwards, right? But it's funny, it's backwards, but it's I'm the same way. Like, I will use my console to game when I'm ready to have a dedicated gaming session of at least 45 minutes to whatever I have available. The unfortunate thing is I don't have that availability as often as I would like. So I don't remember the last time I played my Xbox. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, we moved the Xbox to my son's room for a little bit while my sister stayed in the basement for a little bit while she was selling her house. I have not played it since, and I haven't really missed it either. But I've played my phone every day. I've played mobile gaming every day And I would say, yeah, multiple times a day. I'll flip that phone open. I'm probably, as soon as we hang up, jumping onto my phone and looking at my progression in some of my games. Right?
Yeah, me too. Right?
Yeah,
that's crazy to think, man.
I'm looking at the clock right now, and I'm actually kicking myself because I did miss. In one of my games, there's campaign energy that you get for free but it's time gated. I missed.
No!
Yeah, I missed the deadline on one while we were filming this.
Damn it!
Yeah. So oh well, that sucks. So sorry, MSF. Sorry, Berlin Best. I missed out on one there.
That is so funny.
But yeah, that's sort of that's where I sit now. It's just with time constraints, the console doesn't get the play that I would like. I would like it to be the other way around. I would like to play console a lot more than I play phone, but I just don't anymore.
You know what? I'm still waiting for the console companies to make another handheld.
That
right?
Vita.
Just like Nintendo. Nintendo's making all the Switches. Like, why can't they make another Vita?
Yeah, the Vita was such a good system.
I still have mine. I love it so much.
Yeah, I use. It's funny because the Vita is probably the console I use the second most, and I almost never use it to play Vita games. I use it to play because I've got it and I've homebrewed it and hacked it, and so I use it to play old school games, and I use it to play PlayStation 1 games and PSP games more than I do Vita games. So yeah, but I wish that I'm in the same boat as you. I wish there was another handheld out there. So, but in the meantime, maybe one day. Yeah, we have a great handheld already, right? Our phones.
So anyways, where can people find you, buddy?
Well, you can find me at
find
Coast Dynasty on Instagram. That is COASTDY Nasty. You can also find our website at powerhouse.ph/Coast Dynasty. Collectively, you know where we can find us, right? You let us know.
Yep. You can find us at Unhinged Vibes. You can find me on Instagram at Caramel Thunder. I've been sitting in my car for a while now. I'm very toasty, but I think I'm going to head back to the hotel room, get ready for the night shift. But anyways, folks, from all of us at the Unhinged Vibes, to you guys, we want to make sure you guys have a safe holiday season. Make sure you don't drink and drive. Make sure when you get a gift, it is a thoughtful gift and not a last-minute gift, because I trust you. I'm probably going to be getting some last-minute gifts because it works. So we'll see how it goes.
And related to this podcast, make sure you don't game and drive.
Yes, don't game and drive. I'm very bad at when I'm doing long drives, getting to and from work or from Winnipeg to Alberta. I have Netflix playing on the so I just listen to it. I don't watch. I just listen. So that's safe.
Play something that you already know, so you can just hit the imagination and you're just hearing the audio for it.
Exactly. But anyway, guys, thank you all for listening on today's episode of the Unhinged Vibes podcast, Talking in Cars edition. We will see you guys next time. Next episode is going to be a really good one, so make sure you stay tuned. We'll see you then. Goodbye.